What is going on, guys? My name is Trevor. Welcome back to my channel. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings just came out a couple of days ago. Saw it last night and I loved everything about this movie. We're going to review it, this time spoiler-filled. Join me down below in the comment section. Leave your spoiler-filled thoughts on this movie. What did you think of it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What did you like? What didn't you like? Let me know all that down below in the comment section. It's going to be kind of a long one take, just what I liked about the film. We're going to dive into it. But before we do, make sure to hit the big thumbs up button and that big red subscribe button down below so you don't miss any other videos. Much more videos coming out this week. An MCU Origins ranking coming tomorrow. I'm excited for all of it. But right now we're talking Shang-Chi. So going into this was my most anticipated movie for the rest of the year, or at least one of them. And when the year started, this is my most anticipated Marvel movie for the year. And I think it's safe to say it lived up to my expectations. I'm not sure if it lived up to yours, but there's honestly no better feeling than a movie living up to your expectations. Like when you go into it, you're expecting it to be good, and it's even better than you were expecting. Like, tell me a better feeling, people. I promise you, there isn't one, because I was expecting this movie to be like a top 5 MCU movie for me, and honestly, it is. And if you guys want to see MCU ranking this weekend, make sure to hit the big thumbs up button. Let me know down below in the comment section. But I was expecting a top 5 MCU movie, and it made it in there. And I can't believe it did. But we gotta start with the cast. Simu Liu as Shang-Chi, aka Shang, also in this movie. Welcome to like the big leagues, if you want to call it. Welcome to the MCU. My goodness, this dude kills it. He's like the coolest dude in the world. I was talking about this with my buddy Chris from Film Stock. Like, he is so cool. I want to be his friend. Like, Simu, if you're watching, hello. If you want to be friends, I'll take you for coffee. If you drink coffee, but he seems like the coolest dude in the world. And also, the second, I guess, co-star is Awkwafina, playing the character Katie. Now, I love Awkwafina. I know lots of people aren't the biggest fans of her. She absolutely kills in this movie. She's not just the funny character, though. She does have lots of funny lines. She's also really badass. She learns to become like a warrior inside this film, which we'll get to later, but her character, Katie, is awesome. And I cannot wait to see what Katie does next with Shang-Chi. And the character, again, Shang-Chi, Simu Liu, the dude is so cool. He's jacked as hell. And these fight scenes, man, I mean, the movie starts and it really goes. And I mean, it doesn't stop until the end credits roll. Second act slows down a little bit. I'll talk about that in a second. But I mean, from the movie starts, we get introduced a little backstory, which I love in origin stories. I'm a big sucker for origin story movies, and this gave us lots of backstory on who he is, where he's from, and what dangers are going to come after him later in his life. And we get to find that out towards the beginning, which is always awesome, but it just looks beautiful. I mean, it starts out with an action scene between his parents, his dad, who has the 10 rings, and his mom, who is like this, I don't even know what to call her, but she does this beautiful martial arts form, and like they have this awesome, it's like dance fighting almost, and it was so cool. It was gorgeous. It was awesome to see. Then they fall in love, they have kids, and we get to find out more about that as the movie goes on. But then when it shows Shang-Chi and he's like living his life, you know, he is a car valet. Like, he's at a hotel and he drives nice cars with Awkwafina. That's how they know each other. They're out driving around, and all of a sudden someone comes after his pennant, his little necklace he wears, and people are coming after him. And that's within the first 15 minutes, and we get the awesome train fight scene, bus fight scene we saw in the trailers, and that's what we get right away. I was like, it's starting already, and you get to see who the hell Shang-Chi is. And let me tell you, people, he's not something that's like, he has super soldier serum, he has like, he's Iron Man or anything like that. He's genuinely just a dude who trained his ass off, and no one's gonna be able to beat him. And that was so awesome. Does these awesome slow-mo shots where he's like ducking and fists are going over. Dude, it was the coolest, longest scene ever. And it's funny throughout that, and it's really funny because Awkwafina is his best friend in the movie. She had no idea who the hell this dude is. She's like, you're a car valet, how are you doing this? And it's just, dude, it's so badass. You got a dude, I think his name is Razorface, who has like no arm and has a sword coming out. It was awesome. It was badass. And then from there, the movie just keeps going. Then we get Shang-Chi, and he gets to go and find his sister because he thinks his sister sent him this postcard. He go and find his sister, who's running like this big like battle royale kingpin, which we see from the trailers, Abomination and Wong fighting. His sister runs that, and I forget his sister's name. I gotta look it up. And his sister plays Zhai Ling, I think that's how you say her name, but she's this lady who runs this awesome kingpin. She made her empire for herself. And dude, she is an awesome character who like trained her ass off as well. And we get to see that Shang-Chi is going into like this arena, and he fights his sister in that arena, makes it for a really awesome, really cool thing. But when we're at this place, his dad comes after him with the army that is called the 10 Rings, and that's where they come after him. And dude, it was the coolest fight scene, like down these they're building on a skyscraper with all those little platforms they build inside. They're fighting on those. God, the movie just didn't let up with the action. I was just sitting there like, oh my gosh. I was so engaged in this story like I wanted to be, and it just sucked me in. I was like, dude, I love this is a small scale combat, kung fu, martial arts fighting. I thought it was done beautifully, because it was. Anyone who says otherwise, you're wrong. Fight you on your own opinion, okay? It's just done so beautifully. It looks so awesome. And again, the character Shang-Chi is that freaking badass. From there, that's like the awesome first act. The second act where they go in there and they go into find like where his father's at, and then where his father thinks his mother is. Ultimately, obviously, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. I think it's called Tao Lo. And when he's in there, it slows down a bit. And I'm not mad about it slowing down, but at times I was kind of like, okay, we got to pick this up just because of how awesome and action-packed the first act was. Second act slowed down a little bit. I saw this with 5 of my friends. None of them felt that, so I said, okay, that's fine. Okay, my bad. But slowed down a little bit for me. But we get to find out so much more. They get these awesome costumes. I mean, Shang-Chi, I mean, look at that dude. God, he just looks so awesome in his suit that's made of like dragon scales. And his father the whole time is thinking he's hearing his mother's voice because they're behind this big like darkness wall. And I've only seen the movie once, people, so my vocabulary on this is pretty bad. I'm going to see it again tomorrow, but he's trying to go there, and this voice is calling him. He thinks it's his wife because the 10 rings is the only thing powerful enough to go and break them out. And what's behind there is crazy. It's this ginormous, dark, deep dragon thing, and it was freaking cool, which we'll get to in a second. But they're in this place like Tao Lo, and like they all start training, and we've seen this before. You know, like it's kind of like formulaic in a way. Like we've seen it before. They're with all these people, they're training, they're getting ready, and honestly, I like that. And Shang-Chi is learning the move that his mother did, how his mother defeated him, and that was the ultimate payoff, people. It gets so awesome, but and this time it slows down a little bit, but we get to kind of set up the build-up for the third act. My buddy Chris from Film Stock mentioned him before, but he was like, the third act's gonna lose people because it kind of goes a little crazy. Dude, the third act was so freaking cool. One of my favorite third acts inside the MCU. But while we're here, and I totally forgot to mention this, but Trevor Slattery is back. The Mandarin is not real. He is back, and it was so cool to see him. My girlfriend hasn't seen Iron Man 3. She's a fake fan. She called it out herself. Not me being a jerk. She called it out herself. She hasn't seen Iron Man 3, so she didn't know who he was. I was with one of her friends, and then she was like, oh my gosh, Trevor Slattery from Iron Man 3. I was like, dude. And just a funny character. It's cool to see him back. He is kind of annoying, but he was back. He's making the jokes, and we have this little like Aquafina called him a chicken pig, and his name Maurice, and he was super cool. This little like stump thing with wings, and dude, I want him as a stuffed animal. I'll tell you that much. Hold him right there. But then he comes back, and that was kind of a side thing. Totally forgot to mention, but that was cool to see him. And also, I'm gonna forget things from this film. I've only seen it once. I was at a so ultimate high. Couldn't even sleep last night, so I'm gonna forget things if I do. Don't hate me down below if you're still watching. Anyways, we're at this point now where like his dad and the 10 Rings army are coming after him. And I mean, the Tao Lo, I think that's what it's called. I'm sorry if it's not, but this army, like Shang-Chi's there with his sister and Aquafina and his aunt, and like his family, and these warriors in these big ass lion things, dude. They were so cool looking. And they're defending it. You can't really mess with his dad who has the 10 rings because that dude is so powerful. So has the ultimate. I was waiting for it the whole movie. Like Shang-Chi was trained to be a killer, and he yells, "Is this what you wanted? Is this what you wanted?" And like when he yelled that in the movie, dude, I was freaking out so freaking hard because that's what I've been waiting for. I love that line. And he's like, "You trained me to be a killer. Is this what you wanted?" How he yelled it. I was like, yes, baby. Woo! Hell yeah. It got me so hyped. His dad's like beating down this ginormous wall, and these creatures are coming out that you can't kill with only dragon scale. And it's like, oh my god. And Shang-Chi's like falling down to the bottom of the lake going further. The 10 rings, he's hitting it because he thinks his wife is calling him. And then this huge, dark, crazy dragon comes out. Shang-Chi and his father have this awesome battle. His father ends up dying from like the big soul sucker, they call it. This big, dark, crazy dragon monster who's sucking the souls out of people to get powerful. Then all of a sudden, like, Shang-Chi's in the water, and he comes out with their dragon. And they have, like, a dragon battle, which just saying it out loud sounds kind of absurd, but I don't even give two shits, people. It was so sick. Because these dragons are fighting, and all of a sudden, that dark dragon does not meet up with them, called the light dragon. The light dragon's beating its ass. The dark dragon tries to take the soul out of the light dragon. Shang-Chi, when his father passed, or died, I guess, he got the 10 rings, and he starts coming powerful and badass, and they go, and they're about to freaking kill this dark dragon thing. The dragon, the good dragon, the light dragon, is getting his soul sucked out of him. Aquafina takes an arrow, shoots it, hits it in its throat. That might bug some people, because she's not a warrior, and they make fun of that later. She's like, I've only been learning to do this for a day. Hits him right in the throat. They kill that big dark dragon. It's like peace with all the land. And dude, I don't care. The third act was so awesome. It kept going. I mean, like the 10 Ring army and the Tao Lo army, they kind of like joined forces, and it was a funny little gimmick, funny little scene. And honestly, like it was kind of absurd, kind of on top, like Godzilla vs. Kong type shit. And dude, it was fucking awesome. It really was. I couldn't get over how awesome it was. It comes back. We get Wong at the end of the movie where they're talking to friends in his diner who gets him like, your guys' life is not going to change. It's about to be different forever. It'll never be the same again. And it's like Shang-Chi will return. It was so awesome. But then we got the post-credit scene, people. So the first post-credit scene is like they're looking at these rings. And if you look and dive deep into these, that's like, could be involved with the internals maybe, but no one really knows because it's not vibranium. So Shang-Chi and Katie Awkwafina, they're sitting there with Wong and Captain Marvel and Bruce Banner, who isn't Professor Hulk right now. I don't know what that's about. When are we going to find out what that is about? But he's not Professor Hulk. He's regular Bruce in a sling. I'm guessing we're going to have to find something out with that. But they were like, we have no idea what this is. If you guys need me, call me, whatever, yada, yada, yada. It kind of explains that like Shang-Chi and Katie are now really going to become a part of the Avengers, which is so freaking badass. But then the end post-credit scene is his sister is with like the old 10-ring army who's now working with her, and she's like kind of create this kingpin again, her father's old palace, and to create all these new martial arts wolf soldiers, men and women, and it was awesome, it was badass. Is she gonna be a villain later? No one really knows. She's gonna be an empire ruler. If anything, she's gonna be badass, and it looks like it's gonna be awesome. But two great post-credit scenes, a fantastic fucking movie. Don't even care, people. It was so awesome. Everything and more I could have wanted to be. I am so excited to see this again tomorrow, and I'm doing a live spoiler review with my buddy Ewan for Ewan reviews tomorrow. Very much looking forward to it. If you guys are still watching, comment down below, hashtag Shang-Chi Ending Explained. If you guys are still watching, it means the world. Really do appreciate it. Tomorrow, MCU Origins movie, and Monday we're gonna have a top 20 Marvel movies ranking in honor of Shang-Chi, baby. I'm so excited for all of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the thumbs up button for me. Hit the subscribe button for me. See you guys very soon.